to our top 5 Arizona Diamondbacks. As a Red Sox fan, I loved it when this team beat the New York Yankees in 2001. However, I did like their core of players until they recently, just decided to rebuild and trade everybody. Anyways, here we go. Number 5, A.J. Pollock. Born in Connecticut, Pollock has made it to the big time. A very good all-around center fielder. If I was building a team, Pollock would be a very high draft pick. Maybe not the first pick, but definitely in the second round or third round. A team could always use Pollock's defense, hitting, and base running. He's a very good all-around player. Number 4, Luis Gonzalez. Gonzo is not just the guy who beat the Yankees in 2001. Gonzalez spent 8 years in Arizona. He hit 224 home runs in the desert while rarely getting injured. In his 8 years with the Diamondbacks, he played in over 145 games annually, with 2004 being an exception. To be honest, Gonzalez was the third wheel of Arizona's big three, in my opinion. Number 3, Paul Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt is an outlier at first base. He can hit and defend, but he can also run. In a lot of ways, he's like Pollock. He's a very versatile player. He just hits, he runs, he defends. However, I think Goldschmidt was more valuable than Pollock because he had more power. He had, he was a first baseman. You don't expect good base running out of a first baseman. He would be a top pick, not the first overall pick, but definitely anywhere from 10 on, in the first round. So at number 2, we got Curt Schilling, a key member of the 2001 World Series champion Diamondbacks. Schilling was a very dominant pitcher, and he was the second part of that team's big three. While Schilling wasn't spectacular in the regular season, he turned it on in the postseason. He went 4-1 in the playoffs in the desert with a postseason MVP to boot. I may disagree with the man's political views, but I still think he's a Hall of Famer. Number 1, Randy Johnson. Finally, we have the all-time greatest Diamondback. The big unit is one of the greatest pitchers of all time. Gonzalez was, in my opinion, a pure flamethrower. He threw hard. He was just a hard thrower. Yet he still had a devastating slider. Out of Gonzalez, Schilling, and Johnson, you feared Johnson the most because he was just intimidating, and he turned your bats into toothpicks. Well, anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you agree with me. If you don't, leave a comment down below. Next, I will do the Milwaukee Brewers, and, let's keep it going.